I'm Tatsudoshi.
I'm Corin Burry.
And this time, this is not so much a review as an apology to Japan.
Yeah, I must say so, yeah.
The other day, we're sitting down, watching TV, as we usually do, but we catch a marathon of Teen Titans. And at the end of it, we catch the movie Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo.
Right, now we all know that Teen Titans, you know...
It's a terrible show.
It's
a terrible show.
It's not a terrible show, dude, but...
It's a terrible show.
It's not a terrible show, but it does, you know, rip off a little bit in the course of Japanese animation and also culture, in a way. You know, with the little expressions.
Which is fine.
And, you know, going from big to small. And, But when we saw the movie, it took it like a whole 10 yards way
Basically the entire movie, and you know, we're not politically correct. I never claimed to be politically correct. In fact, fuck political correctness in the ass. But, I felt offended for the Japanese when I saw this movie. It's just so
we're not Japanese ourselves, but we felt like, oh my god, it's like I felt like I punched an Asian just by watching this. I mean, it was bad.
Oh, it was awful.
It just starts off, you know,
it starts off. The entire story is basically around the Teen Titans going to Tokyo, but they have to have a reason to go to Tokyo. So the writers decided, hey, let's just send some Japanese person who speaks only Japanese to destroy Titan Tower. It's like, well, I guess we have to go beat up Japan now. Right. And they hop in their little thing, and it's like they're talking about going on vacation. It's like, do we ever get a vacation? And Rob's like, there's no vacation.
This is freaking beast.
No. Cyborg was all like, we need a vacation. It's like everybody was kind of in for a vacation, except for Robin. Robin's like, right, we don't take vacations. I'm Batman's apprentice. I'm a hard ass. Right. So, relatively stupid plot. But it's Teen Titans, so I'm not going to say, oh, the plot's terrible.
But there is movie, yeah.
I think it was written and directed by John Slack. Or something like that. It's John Slack. I call him Slacker because I didn't even try. Same shit. But he's the one who did most of the writing for, most of the directing and stuff for the actual show. So, it's your fault, it's terrible. You can't blame anybody else. It was you. But they go to Japan, and literally...
And that's where the shit starts hitting the fan.
Literally within the first 2 minutes they arrive in Japan, there's Godzilla attacking Tokyo.
Yeah.
It took 2 minutes. 2 minutes to make his Godzilla reference. 2. They get to Japan, Godzilla. You might as well have been there greeting them when they got off their plane. Oh, Godzilla, here's the pamphlet. Here's the Japanese language dictionary. And I'm gonna go to...
And then, of course, even before that, they go to, you know, Japan and stuff. And that's all they're playing is, you know, that traditional... That's what Japanese listen to 24/7. That's what they. That's just when you go to Japan. That's why you go to hear. Ding dong dong ding dong dong. So that was like, oh man, that's kind of just. And then the Godzilla thing comes, and of course, you know, all the people going, oh right, it's a big giant monster.
I swear, I saw people talking out of their mouth flaps in that movie. Like immediately, it's like Godzilla. Just bad.
Right. So like and so they destroy it, and like this it's like governor or when the captain or something like that. It looks like the freaking.
He's the chief of police.
Right. He looks like freaking the chief of police from Lupin.
Yeah. He literally looks almost exactly like him. He's got the hat.
He's got the whole
everything.
The turncoat, the hat.
The worst part about it is, you know, all of the other people, all the little cops and everything, they all have guns and everything.
They're all futuristic.
They're all futuristic and everything. But then the chief comes out of nowhere and he's like, I will take Godzilla down myself. And he pulls out a sword.
A samurai sword, a katana.
He pulls out a katana.
Who does that, man? Come on.
We have got to get one of those.
You are the Teen Titans, hmm?
Because because the Japanese police go wandering around with katanas and masks on and ninjaing each other with their swords and their kunais and their ninja stars.
Then like I think every Japanese voice in there was like done by the same guy. Too.
I think
that's just it might as well couldn't find any other.
All the other Japanese people are like, no, I will not disrespect my culture like this.
And that's basically what it was. It was just like,
It was just bad.
Thank you, Robin, for saving us. He was my uncle. Thank you, Robin. Like, oh.
Oh, there were two Japanese voices in this entire thing. There were two. One for the men, one for the women.
Alright, yeah.
That's it.
And then from there, it's like,
it really.
they were trying to look for this villain called.
They call him Brashogun, but it's spelled Brashogun. So I don't know what fucking stupid American said. Brashogun is how you
right, and they say, and of course they say it like this, Brashogun.
It's Brashogun. Even the Japanese.
I don't even think of the Japanese guys like it's Brashogun, motherfucker. God.
He says it a couple times. He says it a couple times. He's like Brashogun. He smacks Robin in the face. Brashogun.
But it's like afterwards,
it's not even a weird word. It's shogun. Right. It's not a hard word to say.
But I guess we had to be really
stupid and American.
Really stupid.
Stupid and American.
Stupid and American. So anyway, like after the defeat, Godzilla, or whatever the hell they want to call it. But Robin tells the commander that he's actually trying to look for him. And he's like, oh, he's just a man. And then he's like,
Swedish chef.
But he just tells him, like he doesn't exist. He's just a myth, and you've been wasting your time.
Right. Brashogun is supposed to be some sort of legend in Japan about a guy who wanted to bring his paintings to life, and he sold his soul to like the devil, and then his skin turned to paper and his blood to ink, and that's his entire thing. And he became Japan's first supervillain. That's the whole story behind that villain.
Right. So, afterwards the group let's get together and be like, hey, we got nothing else to do.
Right, because...
So Rob's like, we should just go home then, I guess. We didn't fly, I don't know how many hours to get here.
The Japanese police basically said, we got all the monsters and the villains under control. You don't need to be here. Leave our country. Or, be a tourist. Enjoy Japan.
Right.
So Robin's like, let's go home. And everybody else is like, shut up. So they stay in Japan.
And then that's when more shit happens.
Right, they all kind of go their separate ways. Raven tries to find something to entertain herself with. She speaks like several different languages and she can't find any books to read. The only thing she finds that's in English is Super Sparkle Donkey Gum. I wish she was kidding. And the thing is that's probably the most true to Japanese thing in the entire movie is Super Sparkle Donkey Gum, because they do have crazy shit like that in Japan. I've had it myself, and it does taste...
You've had Super Donkey Gum?
No. But I've had some crazy named shit from Japan, and it's like, it's fine. That's fine. Super Sparkle Donkey Gum, I'll give you that one.
The rest is just I think it had to... The Take the Cake had to be...
We'll talk about Beast Boy last, because he's the one that I have the most problem with. But Cyborg, in his infinite gluttony, goes to an all-you-can-eat sushi bar. He's like, that's all the Japanese I need to know. All you can eat. And I'm pretty sure that didn't say all you can eat. I'm pretty sure they just painted some lines and said that's Japanese. Really, I don't have no faith in this movie at all. Cyborg, he starts eating, and the guy's like, you're eating me out of my entire store. And Cyborg's like, it's just all you can eat, and I'm still hungry. So he puts a live octopus on his plate, and he goes, hey, go ahead, eat it.
And of course, Cyborg, being the super glutton, he just devours it. And by the way, like the freaking chef,
the octopus looks horrified while he's getting eaten. By the way, I don't know if you caught that. It's like,
well, I'd be too if a big giant black robot was swallowing me.
But
then it's like they took this, and also the chef was like they just jacked him like right from the artist that did like freaking
Astro Boy.
Yeah, Astro Boy.
Exactly like the guy who was from Astro Boy, like Astro Boy's creator, Dr. whatever the hell, I don't know. But he's got the big bulbous nose. Cyborg 009 is another good representation of this kind of character's design. He's the big bulbous nose kind of character who's, even the Japanese made those to stereotype themselves.
Right.
So I don't think we really have any right to use those characters ourselves. But
so let's get boo.
The Starfire just kind of goes out with Robin and does her little "I want to get in his pants" thing that she does in every episode of the entire series. It's basically, she's like, I gotta have sex with something on this planet, and you're close. So, Robin's too serious, and he's like, no, abstinence is the key, children. But,
So even though I really want to, no, Batman. So.
But, Starfire's going out of her way. She's being really nice and trying to show Robin a good time, and Robin's got to stick up his ass so they don't have a good time.
So that brings us to the arcade scene.
But wait a minute. They're having a romantic scene on top of Tokyo Tower, which I don't think you're allowed to go that high on Tokyo Tower.
But it's like Starfire can fly. It's like, who cares?
She'll shoot laser beams out of her eyeballs and fuck you up, so you can't really say no. But they're about to have this, romantic kissing scene, which, to be honest, I think would be awkward for 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds that would be watching this. It's like, for us, it was just stupid, but for, kids, it'd probably just be like, what's going on?
Nah, so kids nowadays, it's like, they have sex once they're 10.
They're bored. I'm not a virgin anymore. But
yeah, it's like, well,
it's still an awkward scene, and it's interrupted by Robin's. It can't be it. The police are lying. Brush Shogun.
He just gets sidetracked, right when they're this close.
And he jumps off Tokyo Tower, kills himself. No, I wish, but he just basically goes to investigate more of the entire villain Brush Shogun.
Because Robin's Robin.
Right.
Boring.
He's the worst detective that ever was. Batman was the best. Robin's the worst. But this brings us to Beast Boy. My favorite.
You just completely still past the freaking Starfire scene in the arcade.
Oh yeah,
you remember that? It's it's even before that, there was this arcade scene where freaking Starfire has this helmet on, has a bajillion lights, and she has a guitar. It's like she's playing Guitar Hero, Dance Revolution, karaoke. And this basically all these other freaking games all jump into one.
She's just going, she's breaking the game, getting the high score, and she's obviously awesome at it because these Japanese with their tiny legs and tiny fingers can't play these guitars.
And so all the nerds, and of course they're all nerds.
If anybody's ever seen Sailor Moon, there was one character in Sailor Moon that was the typical nerd, glasses this thick, and swirls for eyes. Everyone in that fucking arcade looked exactly like that.
And buck teeth,
missing teeth, it's just awful.
Right, and then so she's bad, she's oh yeah, and everybody's yeah, what's going on?
And then she breaks the game, she gets the high score, and then she does this Sailor Moon kind of pose, it's ugh.
And then once again, it's
just stabbing me in the heart. But, again, and still, not at the worst parts of this movie yet.
And it's we're not even there yet. We're
not even there. This is halfway through the movie, and we're not to the worst part yet. Beast Boy. Beast Boy. Now, nobody likes Beast Boy. And it's sure, you like him as the comedy relief guy, but when he gets too much screen time, that's when things just get really stupid really fast. And since this movie already started pretty stupid, with Godzilla in the first 2 minutes of the damn thing,
right?
You got Beast Boy chasing down this Japanese schoolgirl, because, every girl in Japan is a Japanese schoolgirl or a geisha.
Of course.
So he's chasing her down and literally, going all across Japan. They started in the docks. And he chased her all the way from, the docks to Akihabara. Which is, he chased him all the way to Akihabara, which is, fucking way out there. So he's in the middle of Otaku Central Japan. So there's only one thing he can do. He's chasing her she runs into this building, and he chases her in there, and then, bam! Karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke out of nowhere. So, what does Beast Boy do?
What does he sing? What song does he sing? The Teen Titans theme. But not the Teen Titans theme. He made his own.
Not in Japanese, in English, but not even in English.
He sings his own lyrics to the damn thing. And he's singing it, and it's one of the lines is thunder, fire, lightning, ... comma, dad. It's Beast Boy's dad is in this? Why is it? Can you imagine what Beast Boy's dad would be doing? Oh, this is so embarrassing.
Raven. What is he doing on TV?
Thank God he's green and I'm blue. Nobody would fucking.
Go! 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 There we go. Wait, the lyrics are in Japanese. I will obey the traffic rules. Teen Titans! I will eat everything without likes or dislikes. Teen Titans! Earthquakes, lightning, fire, dad. Grammar, math, science, social studies. There is nothing I am afraid of. Teen Titans, go! Holler my name. Teen Titans, half your troubles will be gone. Teen Titans, Papa's schedule control. Mama's rent control. Wishes are endless. Teen Titans, go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Teen Titans. Good night, Tokyo!
Really? Oh, thank God. But no, it's just he's singing it,
And of course, all the ladies love it. So
because anyone who sings karaoke in Japan is instantly an idol. Fuck. Sorry. It really hurts me. But and you think that's enough. You think that this is when it's like, okay, maybe we're gonna get to the villain now. Kind of. And I say kind of because you meet the villain's like minions really soon. But first things first, Robin runs into Psychotech, which is the villain that destroyed Titan's Tower in the beginning, and they just have this knockdown, fucking drag-out fight where it's pretty brutal for a kids show. Right. As far as this show is concerned, it's pretty brutal for this show, I should say. But
because Robin just goes all out.
He goes like how Robin just loses his fucking shit when he fights Slade. He goes beyond that and just beats this guy to goo. Like literally, he's got like shit all over his hands. There's like blood all over his hands. It's not blood because it's fluorescent pink. There's no blood in this show. So he's all got fluorescent pink. He's like, no, I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him. It's like, of course you didn't kill him. He's fucking paint all over your hands. So the entire Japanese police force arrests Robin, takes him in, he breaks out, steals some guy's clothes, and goes undercover and tries to, uncover all the mystery of Broshogun after he is labeled as the most wanted criminal in all of Japan for killing one guy, which he didn't. It was Pain.
Alright, so then, so Robin just goes into this whole, like, I'm not gonna be Robin for a while, I'm gonna be a Yakuza badass, sort of. So he just goes in like a bar and shit. It's like
it's like he's snapping flipping.
I'm thinking like he's just gonna go to the bar, milk.
But no, he basically goes up and is like, this line bothers the fuck out of me. I know I said it before, but he goes in and he goes, this is the baddest joint in the baddest part of town. You've been in Japan for what, a day? You fucking know the baddest part of Japan and the baddest place in the baddest part of Japan in a day? I commend you, sir, because you don't speak Japanese.
You don't speak Japanese.
Speak English? Yes. Good. This is the worst dive in the worst part of town, so I'm guessing you know a little something about Tokyo's criminals. I'm looking for Broshogun.
So how in the world? Was it on the tour guide? I mean, yeah.
And here we have the baddest place in all of Japan.
Oh, this is what all the gangsters call. Very nice. Very nice.
But
so anyway, that scene lasts for like that lasted for like 2 scenes.
He gets the information he wants. Broshogun is actually alive, real, and no shit. He's actually alive and doing all this stuff, and he's the one pulling the strings. Shocking. Right. So, the Japanese police force kick the place in. It's like, we know you're here, Robin, who's posing as a Yakuza dude because your disguise is terrible. So they're chasing him down. But while all this is happening, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Cyborg all encounter villains of their own. They all encounter psychotech kind of people of their own. The while Raven's trying to learn Japanese or find some information about Brush Shogun. But she's trying to find out information about it. She gets attacked by this black spirit, which is incredibly fucking hard to see because I don't know if you know about Raven's powers, but they're black. And if you fight something black with black powers, then you're not going to know who's winning.
It's like whack.
It's like you might as well just turn off the lights, close your eyes, and imagine if Raven's winning because that's pretty much what happens. Starfire meets an incredibly bad ripoff of Astro Boy, which. Sorry, Astro Boy, you're getting it up the ass again. Twice in this entire thing. But Starfire's fight him, and they're just getting their asses kicked by these things. What is it? Cyborg encounters a chef monster, which is in each one has their own color. Astro Boy's blue, the black creature is black. Cyborg fights this giant yellow machine robot chef thing. But the worst one is Beast Boy. Beast Boy has the schoolgirl who's been chasing the entire fucking movie, pretty much, turn into a bright-ass pink cat girl. And she might as well just scream, "Kawaii desu desu kawaii!" It's just because that's basically her dialogue, which is awful. And it's like, that's perpetuating a stereotype that all Japanese people, or all otaku, basically say, "Kawaii desu desu kawaii, oh, desu 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 desu."
Good.
But no, it's just terrible. And they're all fighting these things, and they're getting their asses kicked hard. Like, they basically all lose, and they all try and find each other and regroup. They regroup, they end up finding Robin, and then they get attacked again. They do the whole story of Brush Shogun and figure out, oh, hey, you know, this is the entire story, which I told you earlier, and it's not a very deep story. He just turns into a villain. But, you know, they fight through all of these things. They track down, they've scoured all of Japan in a single night, apparently. I don't know how they do that. But they literally go everywhere in Japan and say, well, there's only one place we haven't checked yet. And it's the place Beast Boy wanted to go in the beginning of the movie, which is a comic book place, which doesn't make sense because they have manga in Japan, not comic books. And he literally pulls out comic book, not manga, comic book. Manga, comic book, manga, comic book. He pulls out comic books. And he says, hey, we haven't gone, and it's like, this is the only place we haven't gone. So they break that place in, and there's Brush Shogun, or Brushogun as they continuously call him. And he's like, help me, I'm not the villain, I'm old and dying, and I need help, and someone's manipulating me. And guess who it is? What?
I must say, you Titans have proven formidable adversary. Once you are destroyed, perhaps I shall print copies of you to serve me.
Show your face, coward! Who are you?
There's only one person who stands to gain from creating criminals. The hero who catches them. Isn't that right, Commander?
Very good, my friend.
Who's manipulating you like this? And you have the whole swervel chair thing, like, ha ha ha.
He's getting a and he's
it's just the commander.
It's
like,
the commander of the police. He's the police chief, so it's like shocking. Everybody knew it. He's voiced by the same guy as everybody else in this stupid show. But, you know, it's like, oh, blah, 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 if you think you could stop me, you're wrong, because even if you beat me, you know, you're still wanted criminals. So he starts making Brush Shogun create all the monsters continuously, like shitloads of them. And they start fighting all the monsters, and they start fighting all the little policemen, and the policemen turn out to be ink monsters as well. So it's basically like, fuck, don't hold back, just blow the fuck out of everything. So, you know, big fight scene, then Robin goes after the chief, and they have a fight, and then the chief just goes, yeah, well, you know what, I'm just going to jump into Brush Shogun. So they jump into Brush Shogun, and that's what's going to happen. Brush Shogun and Chief form two giant ink monster, and they have a fight. Now,
giant ink tentacle monster.
Giant ink tentacle monster, my bad. Now here, cherry on top of the cake. Here is where you thought, oh no, Beast Boy's singing in Japan karaoke, Kawaii Desu Cat Girl, Astro Boy ripoff. No, can't get possibly any worse. No, they fight a giant ink tentacle monster, and Robin gets absorbed in the thing trying to save Brush Shogun. Beast Boy and Cyborg get stomped to the ground, but Raven and Starfire get wrapped up in tentacles. Thank you. It raises so many alerts, and
I mean, of course, the kids like, oh no, they didn't catch it, but
anybody who's ever been on the internet ever knows that, you know,
bad.
This
That's
is
bad.
right. It's like, they don't even need to make porn of this. This is porn already. It literally wraps them up in a series of tentacles. Not one tentacle. There's like holding them up by their arms and legs and kind of spreading them a little bit. It's like, that's wrong. Thank you. But, you know, of course, when Robin got absorbed into it, he grabbed Brush Shogun and ripped them out, and then the chief melts into a goo pile, and then the ink spreads everywhere. Luckily, this is ink that you could just brush off. Literally, they just start brushing the ink off.
Like, the ink just turned to goo. Like,
I don't know if you've ever broken a pen like this, but ink goes everywhere, and it takes days. These people just go, it's gone.
So,
but, you know...
There's supposed to be some cheap-ass ink.
So. The mayor of Japan, I'm not kidding, they actually call him the mayor. The mayor of Japan, or the mayor of Tokyo, comes out of nowhere and he's like, thank you for saving our city from a vile evil. Here's a medal, here's a medal, here's a medal, here's a medal. And you find out like all the little side stories that you didn't get to see in this movie. Shame. Beast Boy hooks up with all of the schoolgirls. Cyborg gets a giant platform of all you can eat from the sushi chef that he was having a fight with. Starfire and Robin...
Oh yeah, they finally kiss.
They finally kiss at the end. Like, and Starfire's like, did you make any friends in Japan, Raven? And Raven's like, no, I'm emo, antisocial, and I hate life in general. However, I am the new sponsor of Super Sparkle Donkey Kong. And that's it. They go back to America, and that's the end of the movie.
Right, and I was just like, ugh. It was painful, man. That was one of those movies that honestly, like, if I was, like, in any sort of theaters, I would walk. I was just be like, oh, there's no...
No, I wouldn't walk. I would burn the place to the ground, alright? It was that bad. It's awful.
You get that movie out of there and just rip it to shreds.
I go up to the guy running the thing. It's like, why are you letting this play on these reels? Punch him in the face, burn the reels, and then put on a good movie. Like here, watching Glorious Bastards. Here, have that movie. I know this is a kids movie, but this is less offensive and better for your children to watch. It's just so bad. The voice, in all, the voice acting was the same as the show. Actually, I think the voice acting was much worse than the show because they got Japanese people. They tried to get Japanese accents in there, and they're terrible. They're worse than my Nagasaki Pang voice.
There's like maybe 3 people at best doing
3 people
all voices.
doing all of Japan. I don't know if you know, there's a lot of people in Japan. There's a lot of them. And 3 people doing all the voices of Japan is just awful. And, you know, when you got actual Japanese people doing the theme song of the fucking thing, you'd think you've had more Japanese people on call. I mean, Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi, maybe not the biggest stars in Japan or America, but, you know, I'm sure they have connections. It's like, hey, my manager's Japanese. He can do a voice. So, it's a bad movie. I know I've seen it before, but I think I just blacked it out because it's just that bad. So, literally, there is nothing that will make me want to watch this movie, or if it's on TV, it's like, I'm a glutton for punishment as far as movies. I will sit there and I will watch, like, Plan 9 from Outer Space, Pink Flamingos, some of the classic, iconic, terrible movies. You know, the first 2 Evil Dead movies, which are shot terribly and they have terrible sound and everything. And I will watch there, and I will sit there, and I will watch those movies over and over and over again. This is just garbage. Garbage. This is not cult classic. This is not so bad it's funny. This is just... It goes beyond so bad it's funny, because we had some laughs in there because it was so bad it was funny at points. But it goes beyond so bad it's funny. It's so bad.
Offensive too.
It's just it's offensive. It's offensive to kids, insulting their intelligence. It's offensive to Asians, insulting their culture. It's insulting to people in general, assuming that they'd actually want to sit down and watch this movie. It's just terrible. There's nothing good and nothing redeeming about this. What's worse is I can't play Tales of Fantasia. Not Tales of Fantasia. Fucking GameCube Tales of game anymore.
What?
Tales of Symphonia. I can't play Tales of Symphonia anymore. Because all I think of is this stupid movie, because Robin's the voice of the fucking main character. All I get is flashbacks to, no, I'm gonna be melodramatic, and I'm Robin, and boring, and nobody likes me. That's why Batman kicked me out. It's just bad. Don't watch it. Don't even, if you see it on TV, burn your TV.
Or just change the channel, whatever works.
I like burning the TV better.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. I like fire. But That's it. There's nothing good about this movie, and you should avoid it at all costs.
Right.
If you see it on DVD, throw it out. Don't buy it. Just take it, put it in the garbage.
I don't think you'll get in trouble for it. I think you have to get applause. So.
Someone finally had the courage to throw it out.
So that's just basically the wraps of that. So it's an awful.
It's
movie.
an awful cartoon, made-for-TV cartoon movie. And I like made-for-TV cartoon movies. I'm a sucker for them.
Right.
They're fun and they have better production value. So it's like it's nice seeing these people who actually get some time and budget rather than on a weekly basis having to churn out the same kind of stereotypical shit over and over again. So when you're given an hour, hour and a half, and a budget to put together something, and you blow it on this, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Fucking losers. It's like, and you may be thinking, well, you're the losers for watching it. It's like, well, you just watched this review.
Boom, in the face.
So, in conclusion, bad, and offensive and bad. So until next time, I'm Tatsudoshi.
And I'm Cornerburn.
And we'll find another shitty movie to review. See you later, folks.